Hello everyone, it's me again, the MetaVerse Explorer, and this is the 23rd of July. Let's find out what happened in crypto news overnight. First off, thank you very much to Dancing Pepe for his overnight work. Thank you for still dancing for us in this bear market. He's very desperate for your likes, so thank you very much. I'm going to pause right here. Give me 1 second. Awesome. Now, we have Coinbase rejects the SEC's claims that 9 Ethereum-based altcoins are securities. Now, remember, last time, about 2 days ago, even 1 day ago, the SEC came out and they said, oh, these guys that raised ICOs and they sold tokens to retail investors, they're all securities. So what does that mean? Those companies now have to abide by securities law, which could spell danger for them, doom for them, because behind these tokens were companies that were issuing these tokens to try and make a profit and to try and do their project, right? So Coinbase came out and said, nah, we totally don't agree with this. According to Coinbase, according to Growall, Coinbase conducts rigorous review processes before listing digital assets to ensure that securities are kept off the platform. We 100% disagree with the SEC that the assertions that any of the crypto assets we list are securities, and Coinbase has a rigorous process to analyze, review each digital asset before making it available on our exchange, a process that the SEC itself has reviewed. Oh man, this is like a whole back and forth, right? You guys are doing this. Oh no, but we did this and you said it was okay, but now now you're suing us or something, and like now, oh no, man, that's not what we said. You still listed them. You shouldn't have done it because there was. Oh man, this is getting a bit heavy, right? This is getting very, very heavy. We've cooperated with both the DOJ and the SEC on the investigation. The DOJ reviewed the same facts and chose not to file securities frauds against those involved, right? And recently we saw there was some insider trading at Coinbase, right? And Coinbase caught them first, gave the information to the authorities. The authorities went ahead to arrest the insiders at Coinbase. And this is in relation to actually 9 tokens, right? Which is AMP, Rally, Power Ledger. Power Ledger was one of the biggest ICOs in Australia, right? It's a company based in South Australia or something, and they were trying to be doing an ICOing POWR, and that basically the gist of it was that you were able to have solar panels, you get your electricity, you use what you have. If you had any leftover electricity, you were able to sell that to your neighbor using the Power token and the Spark token. So it's yeah, like they're still making inroads within there, but it's been like 2-3 years now, nearly 4 years to be honest, and nothing really much has happened. The company's still there, so I really wonder how they're going to go along with this. Next up is Bitcoin's Lightning Network capacity reaches new all-time high amid bear market. This is just another like spark, right? We are in the depths of the bear market right now. Everyone's super upset. But hey, Bitcoin Lightning Network is still going high. There's still more Bitcoin being deposited onto the network, right? In total capacity in public channels has hit 4,290 Bitcoin, an increase of 34.6% and 1,000 Bitcoin more after Bitcoin's price recorded the all-time high at 68K. This is crazy, right? And let's just have a look at the chart. Like this is the amount of Bitcoin in Lightning Network just going up and up and up. And so the colored one is actual Lightning Network capacity, and the line is the price of BTC. Yeah, line is the price. So how can we interpret this, right? These guys have interpreted it as is growing confidence and utilization of the network, even as it undergoes maturity alongside improvement. So the Bitcoin Lightning Network has a long way to go, but we know that Jack Dorsey from Twitter and Elon Musk are still very, very bullish on Lightning, on Bitcoin and Lightning itself. There was a whole bunch of stuff about maybe implementing Lightning as a source of payment on Stripe, which is by Jack Dorsey, and also to allow people to have accounts on Twitter to really stop bots, right? So if every time you make a tweet, you pay a really small microtransaction, all these bots will not be able to afford these small microtransactions because it actually costs them something. Even if it costs you a couple of cents, right? Like maybe 0.0002 cents to send out a tweet, normal people like us, we can afford to do that, right? But if you have a bot that's sending out tweets, 1,000 of them a day, that's going to add up, okay? That's going to really, really add up. One more thing, we have the Boston Consulting Group. I'm going to move across over here. Sorry about that. And excuse me. Sorry about that. We have the Boston Consulting Group. Our cryptocurrency will reach 1 billion users by 2030. This is what I'm really waiting for, right? We have what, 6 more years, 7 more years until we actually get there. Oh man. Oh man, like I think by the time we get there, it'll be like the internet where everyone knows how to use it. Well, nearly everyone knows how to use it, at least the young people anyway. The research paper was published in July 22nd, which was just yesterday, right? The group of researchers stated that let me put it up here. The group of researchers stated that the adoption will likely culminate in the sector harboring about 1 billion users by 2030. The report noted that the projection is mirrored in the internet adoption across the 1990s. So when the internet first started, no one really gave a shit about it, right? People were like, oh, you can have a website and you can put stuff on there. Meh, meh. Now look at what the internet has become. This is the same thing that's happening in crypto right now. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, you can have a wallet and you can go and buy these pictures. Okay, great. They don't understand what the fundamental of the technology allows for, right? What it actually unlocks. My favorite example is like, imagine if you have an NFT as your car key. No one else can literally click that button as a like a hardware ledger wallet or something and sign a transaction to say, yes, I have this NFT in my wallet, and now that opens your car. Okay. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. No more illegal. A lot of counterfeit stuff is just gone. It doesn't exist anymore because they can't fake having that NFT in their wallet. If we use the number of cryptocurrency holders as a proxy for Web3 users and benchmark it against the adoption rate of internet users in 1990s, the message is clear. There's plenty of room of growth to come. While it's difficult to predict if the timeline of crypto adoption continues, the total number of crypto users is likely to reach 1 billion by 2030. And man, it will get there. This is the graph that's telling you like the adoption of the internet itself and the adoption of Web3, okay? This is how the internet went. That's the internet. That's how we're going right now, okay? And this line above it is actually Web3. So really, we're beating it, right? You got to think about it. All the technologies build on top of each other. For us to have cars, for us to have all these things on the road, you needed roads, right? And for roads to be built, you needed asphalt and you needed like infrastructure and stuff like this. So each new technology builds on top of each other. So once we get Web3 reaches this area here, we are going to have something else that's built on Web3 that's going to be the killer Web3, okay? It's going to be the car on the road or the train on the tracks. Instead of like a steam engine, we'll get a metro or like maglev train. That's what I'm thinking. North America is the leading at the moment. They have about, the region is currently the most invested sector. So we're talking about like Canada and the United States of America, not South America's. The region is currently the most invested sector with an average holding of $18,000. Elsewhere, Africa has the least invested with an average crypto holdings of about 190. I think this is the other way that it should be, right? People in Africa are the people that need this the most. The governments are super corrupt. Every government's corrupt, really. The governments are super corrupt and they always keep stealing money from the populace. So in Africa, the people there, they're the ones that really need it the most. America has enjoyed being like the prime kind of superpower in the world for too long, I believe. And I'm not anti-America. I'm just saying America has sucked out a lot of resources from all these other countries. You know, people came to Africa, took all of their workforce, took all of their resources and left them with nothing. And it's super hard to come out of that, right? Now, let's move on. The California government now allows politicians to receive Bitcoin donations for their campaigns. We've seen politicians receive money previously, right? We know FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, was like the second largest donor to President Biden, right? I don't know how that's working for him now, but there's a new law which will be in effect in 60 days. It was passed after the state's practice commission approved the requirement. So that they say candidates can receive the crypto donations if they can convert the digital assets into fiat immediately, okay? There's another barrier to this, though. They have to focus on KYC. The processor who facilitates this transaction between the donator and the person who's received, and the candidate, the politician, the processor must perform essential Know Your Customer, KYC practices, like collecting their name, address, occupation, employer. Now, this is going to be a big barrier, right? But at the same time, we're going to need this barrier to be overcome, okay? If you're going to throw money at people, and I'm sure there's going to be places where they skirt these rules, right? Oh, yeah, we're donating because of an organization, but the organization doesn't have a name or a face. There's so many loopholes around this, right? And people always do this. However, the FEC stated that holding Bitcoin does not relieve political commitments of their obligations, committees of their obligations to return the contribution if it's from a prohibited source and exceeds the contributor's contribution amount. So the same thing still applies, right? If you got this from a criminal, then no, you can't use it. If you got it above your contribution limit, then no, you can't keep it. I just want to leave it with this one here. There was a 583% increase in digital asset donations in 2021 compared to 2022. 500% increase. Now 2022 is only halfway. 2020 up here. 2022 is only halfway done. I'm really interested to see what the contribution amounts have actually increased by. It's probably going to be a bit lower because we are in the bear market. People don't have free money to throw around anymore. Maybe in the next super cycle, we might see something. Now, last thing I want to focus on, second last thing is, so the 3RS Capital, Su Zhu and Carl Davis have come out, okay? They've come out and they're breaking their silence in an interview with Bloomberg. Now, this is the key takeaways I want you guys to get. 3RS Capital, Su Zhu have spoken out in their recent woes in the new Bloomberg article, said they were planning to relocate to Dubai and had faced death threats following their firm's collapse. Well, they had a bunch of money, they had a bunch of everyone's money, and everyone wanted it back, and they didn't have it. They also denied allegations that they had avoided communicating with liquidators. I marked some little interesting tidbits that we can get from this, though I know you guys know there has been like a 1,000-page document that was leaked, right, from the Singapore court. It involved all the documents, who had what, where everything went, all that sort of stuff. The whole situation is regrettable, according to Carl Davis, opening up about 3AC's current state of affairs. They had this is it. This is the gold bit, guys. This is the gold bit, okay? They had misjudged the market, leveraging up their long positions to gain maximum exposure to what they believe would be a crypto super cycle. Guys, they thought it was a crypto super cycle. Everyone thought there was a super cycle. Super cycle word was being thrown around everywhere, right? Even myself, I actually thought it was a crypto super cycle, but then I realized this is crypto. It's going to do the exact opposite of what you expect it to do. Super cycle generally meant that for every 4 years we had a cycle of adoption, and like it got bigger and bigger, and then we thought we were in a super cycle where we wouldn't go through these small ones anymore. We had reached a point where it wouldn't come back down again. It would just keep going because more people kept coming in, because we're only like what, 3% adoption across the world or something. So they've subscribed to the super cycle notion as well. But unfortunately, they ended up being too greedy. They leveraged themselves too much, and by that, like, let's say you had $1 million. They took a loan against that $1 million and then got $500,000. They used that $500,000 to take out another loan and got $250 million. And they kept playing with it, playing and playing and playing. So when your funds that you had doesn't actually equal $1 million anymore, and then the company comes to you and says, hey, you know that $200,000 you borrowed from us? We want it back. They're like, oh, that $2,000 is only worth $100,000 now. We don't care. You borrowed $2,000. You borrowed $200,000. Give it back to us. You owe us $200,000, but we only have $100,000. What do you want us to do? You got to go bankrupt, right? Oh man. Su Zhu said that certain market participants were effectively hunting the firm's leveraged long position on staked ETH to force a liquidation, driving prices lower. This is the open market, right? This is crypto. Everything is open. You can't be too leveraged. If you show your position, people will hunt you. What this basically means that there were outside companies who saw how dangerous they were, how dangerous their position was, and they brought money and they said, okay, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to go against these guys. And they ended up winning, right? Because when Bitcoin broke its previous cycle's high in mid-June, the so-called risk-free trades that had once been the firm's bread and butter brought it to the brink of collapse, and it did actually collapse it in the end. It was revealed that Genesis Trading had loaned the firm over $2.3 billion, while BlockFi, Voyager, Celsius also suffered heavy losses after 3AC defaulted on their loans. Voyager and Celsius have now filed for bankruptcy. If you watch my videos, you're aware of this. BlockFi has been bailed out by FTX. So, man, this is like consolidation to the max. This is the bear market. These were forced sellers of Bitcoin, and that's how we've been able to get to these low Bitcoin prices. I'm going to stop talking about it and we'll move on. Last bit of news is the Shiba INU meme coin, shitcoin, has now surpassed Tron, rising 14% weekly. I am really not a fan of meme coins in general. I'm more conservative of these, but I can see the use case of them where they bring people in a fun way, even though all these people are going to lose all their entire money and don't even realize it. Okay, so this Shiba INU recently made some news in that they're partnering with a collaboration with world-class visualization studio, The Third Floor (TTF), for the design and construction of its Shiba IO, the MetaVerse project. I'm like, oh, the metaverse narrative is really dead now, you know? We had DeFi, it's still slightly alive. We had the metaverse, it's still slightly alive. And then we had GameFi as well. Oh, really? No, no. A meme coin that's going for a metaverse now. Like, pick a lane, bro. Like, what are you guys trying to actually achieve? Like, what are you? Are you a payment? Are you a payments platform? Are you a metaverse? Are you a meme coin? There's too many things, right? Once the Securities and Exchange Commission and the regulations come across, you're going to be in too many buckets. You're not going to be able to do everything you can, okay? You're going to have to shunt some projects out. Man, let's have a read of this. According to WhaleStat, Shiba Inu is facing buying pressure from whales, ranking among the top 10 most purchased tokens among the 20,000 biggest ETH whales in the last 24 hours. Man, every day you think it's a slow news day, but it's actually not. Okay, I'm going to stop it here. Thank you very much, Food Dancing Pepe, for your likes and subscribes. He really loves it, and he's gonna keep dancing for you. This has been MetaVerse Explorer. I'm going to sign off now. Ciao for now. Thanks for watching.